Mark off to that other thing.
So how do you guys? Okay, so basically, this session is for ways that we can integrate the default apps and low-hanging fruit with the default desktop, which is Unity. So last time we basically went through applications that we feel needed a quick list or needed something for us or from us to help get their application. Now, Didrox is supposed to be driving this, but he's feeling a little down because he has to work with DX. So I'm going to drive this for him. I need to make it perfectly clear that I have no responsibilities here whatsoever.
Yeah, I'm just
except talking. So after this event, when you guys start having questions and stuff, you'll just mail Didrox directly, not George. I'm just clear with that?
I'm just checking that you don't assign everything to me, you know?
Yeah. So last time, basically what we did is we went through all the things that we felt. I need someone to take notes too. Who's taking notes?
I can't get Wi-Fi.
Can you get Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Alex? Get like 2 or 3 people taking notes. So last time what we did is we went through all the stuff we wanted quick lists for. So what kind of stuff do we want? We want to talk about what kind of integration things do we want from our applications? So we want quick lists,
I brought these.
indicators. Is there anything?
Zeitgeist.
Zeitgeist integration. What else do we want? What do we want our apps to have that's awesome?
Well,
Lenses?
well, there is a separate discussion about the scopes. And
There's,
right?
you can put a generic thing down for launcher integration.
Launcher integration. So that's liblaunchpad, right? Libunity. Thank you.
Libunity, as we like to pronounce it.
What else do we want? Lenses for apps? We want that, right?
Or for apps. Scopes.
Scopes for, yeah,
Yeah, but
scopes
it won't be in the
for
session.
apps, but that's a
There
separate
is a
session.
separate session.
But, all right, so that will be a separate session.
Still, it's fine to get down some ideas.
If some ideas come up for that,
Icons that don't suck. What else? Dude, you hit alt tab on a web app? That's like Mario 4-bit city for me.
oh yeah, having actual good applications on web apps, or actual good icons on web apps. That's something we might need distros
So
help
let me do
with.
one. So just as an example, sorry to derail. It's just I happen to be here and I never get to see Jason. So that's crap.
I like that that's down.
Jason, that's crap.
Oh really?
Yeah. That is pretty cool. That is crap.
Yeah,
All right?
I agree.
Well, that was just a blown-up tab icon, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's
but-
exactly what the problem
But if
is.
it's a web app, you should be grabbing the iPad icon or something.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to like go out and start downloading things.
Okay. But we can get to that when we get to that. What else?
Yeah.
Is it possible to have a separation between the messaging menu and the number of messages on the launcher icon? So for instance, in
Yes, they are separate.
Thunderbird, if you disable the messaging, you don't get the blue indicator, but you also lose the number of new
Yeah,
emails.
that's just implementation.
Okay.
That's how they've done it, but it's not.
Follow up.
So,
They put those in a single plugin when they probably should have been 2.
okay.
Okay. But there is a Thunderbird integration session. I believe Thunderbird is here. Is Mike Conley here? Okay. We'll find Chris Colson and he's linked up with that guy. What other things do we want integrated from applications into Unity that we would want to convince application authors to do?
Just wondering whether.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just wondering whether people thought, like I've often thought on and off about whether we ought to have either an indicator or something to go launch with some of our accessibility tools, so they present some of their more common options in one of those forms of interfaces.
Okay, so how do we convince application developers to not ignore you? Not ignore accessibility? Or do you want exposed?
I'm not referring to making things accessible. I'm referring to things like, do we want to add a few more useful options? Like, do we want, say, just say you've got onboard or auto running, do we want to present a few more of the common options that are available in such tools? You know, do an indicator or accessibility indicator.
Oh, an accessibility
I mean, like, you've
indicator.
got to quickly turn something on. I don't know. I've sort of been thinking about it. I'm probably this is not the community to ask, but.
Maybe
Okay.
that'd be better to just call accessibility integration, because he's talking about more than just potentially an indicator.
Right, so accessibility,
Integration,
Yeah, probably more of an indicator, but yeah.
integration
possibly an indicator, yeah.
in general. Probably an indicator.
There we go.
Okay, what else?
What else? Can we
Improve
integrate?
documentation for all of the above.
Oh, yeah, documentation for all. We'll do that one last, because that's when everyone's gonna wanna leave the room anyway.
We need new lenses.
Yeah, we have that, but there's also a separate section on lenses in general. so- Scopes, sorry.
Well, no, new
No, you
lenses.
need new
No,
lenses and
There's some new
scopes.
lenses to write, and there's some scopes. More scopes to write.
Yeah, but the scopes are more application focused, whereas the,
George, we should maybe already start with the list. Because
Yeah.
I think that Zaka
Okay, so let's start the
will
list
take
with,
some time.
yeah. So let's get Quicklist out of the way, because these are supposed to be easy until Bilal left me hanging. But that's all right, dude. We're gonna give you a chance to catch up this time. It'll be you and me, baby. All right, so basically,
Look at what is.
with static ones are basically done in the distro, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
at least for the default application.
The one I think we do need to get, dude, we need to get Nautilus, and we need, okay, so here's what I want, and then you guys tell me if we can do this. I want to be able to right click on the Nautilus thing and get documents, videos, presentation, the XCG things in a dynamic quick list.
Yeah.
So can we do that
that's
Yes.
doable.
for 1204?
Now that's available. Now that indicator patch landed,
Okay, so,
assign it to me for this one.
sweet. Are there any other native apps on the desktop or any low-hanging fruit that need a quick list? We are aware of some of the issues like Firefox not having dynamic quick lists and all that stuff, but the respective maintainers of those things is like working on that. Right, because you want like your recently closed tabs.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
What about things? So I just actually have fresh installation.
Okay.
It's like Software Center and Ubuntu One, and we don't have coverage across the
Okay,
even the default
Yeah,
items.
BFB.
so is someone from Ubuntu One here?
Can you put down
And also the
BFB?
as well.
Yeah.
That should be showing the lenses at least.
Isn't that on the IRC?
Oh, someone keep an eye on IRC for me because I'm not.
Somebody on that side?
Support for tabs in Firefox or other tab-based web browsers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not.
Launcher.
That's not as much integration because we don't have one. Oh. So that's not integration as such because we don't have that framework in place, but it's a good idea. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, we've actually had kind of plans around that for quite a while and never really had time to put it together.
Okay, so Jason, you're committed to quick lists on the BFB. That's basically going to be the lenses, right?
Really?
Isn't that what you just said?
Me. Put me
Oh,
first.
you. Okay.
Don't
I
let,
just think-
don't let Jason near that phone.
So, and we need Ubuntu 1. There's no quick lists at all.
Say we assign that to Dobie because he's in here.
Exactly.
Oh, can we just assign things to people who aren't here?
When it comes to Dobie, yeah. So other things like the system settings.
Is there undo?
Should be,
Oh.
until then.
No, there's this one.
Oh, I like what it says at the bottom.
Okay. What other static or
so,
default stuff?
like system settings doesn't have one either. Like if you get to categories or
So who's responsible for system settings on the desktop team?
Because,
actually there's only 3 then.
yeah, but it has only 3, so that was my point to design when they asked me.
Okay, write it down, George, and just
No,
look at question
it
marks.
doesn't need.
Okay.
That's the point.
Yeah. that's
Okay,
fine.
so it doesn't need quick lists. Okay, what else? Transmission?
Doesn't have one either. But
That's not default
No.
on the launcher. That's
that's not default.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's installed by default, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah.
And Bilal committed to it like previous cycle.
The
So
workspace,
All right, so Bilal, hold on, I'm gonna get him up.
the workspace switch.
Since you escaped the Nautilus one, you're gonna get the transmission one. Is that cool?
Okay, that's
Yeah.
much better.
For
Getting to a workspace.
Okay, so transmission quick list.
that one. Can
What else?
I was just the
What else is
works.
installed by default? Open Office.
We have the workspace switcher which doesn't have a quick list at all. It's
So is
just
that you?
kind of sucky, Jason.
Me.
So what quick list would you have on a workspace switcher?
Just the workspace.
Like workspace 1, workspace 2, workspace 3, workspace.
I mean, it's
Yeah, you
sucky,
just
but if it,
I mean, if you know what workspace stuff is on, you just click on the workspace on the like. You just click on the workspace switcher and right click on it, get the quick list, choose the
Oh,
next one.
no, we don't want
Right.
A lot of people
anything
that
more
have
than
that movie
outside
master
the
in the area
scope.
with the framework
Okay.
that's here.
Okay. What else?
So like, if you
What's our LibreOffice story with quick lists?
There is a quick list for writer, but that's only a static one, and I think it's only a new document.
Yeah.
That's
For everyone, there is for writer, for CAP, for spreadsheet.
So we need the entire suite that is installed by default. Quick list is, right?
When you say installed by default, you mean in the system or on the launcher? Default launcher?
On the system.
Okay.
So like, if we're shipping it by default, it should
Right.
have as many progress
So
bars.
software sources should have a quick list for the current sources.
There's a problem in this scenario because there is one launcher icon for LibreOffice as a whole.
Okay, so I wanted to bring that up next because we brought that up
Yeah.
last time. So, remember we wanted one LibreOffice icon, you could right click and say writer, presentation, or whatever, because right now we ship like 4. And then on my netbook I install it and my thing's already accordion.
Yeah,
and that
but
kind of
it's a
stuff.
design requirement to have 4
It's a design requirement to have 4.
by default.
yeah, and I guess the question is, do you want people to think of it as a single application, or do you want people to think of it as unique, independent applications? Because it
And
doesn't
you don't
make
make a good match on this one, so
Okay,
Yeah.
so we need
There's no way to.
yeah.
static quick lists
So we need to drop the other one.
for
we need to patch
each
Yeah.
app.
I talked with Chris Colson about it.
for 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other quick lists?
Software sources.
Software sources? Really?
If you want quick lists for each app, then it's got an actual set of quick lists, which are the current sources you have.
I don't know if we want.
What do you want for that one?
I think
Yeah.
we're trying to do.
We
Yeah.
want to get the default apps, but we don't want to be carrying a lot of patches that.
Okay, yeah, he brings up a good point. We don't want to be
That's why I
carrying.
asked which default you mean, the default
Yeah.
launcher or the default on the system?
Well, mostly the launcher, but the apps,
So I think ones that,
like the user-facing
Things
app,
that
not
lend-
like config apps and.
right, things that lend themselves
Well,
to
and if there's like transmissions out there, something that want available to us.
Does Tomboy?
Yeah.
We need to go out and show their law.
doesn't have any.
What? Banshee has tons of quick lists.
Maybe with dynamic, but none, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
Banshee should have some static quick lists.
What do you want?
So who's to do Banshee?
No, what do you want as a static quick list before we go on track?
Software standard.
What goes into Banshee?
Yeah, what goes into a Banshee static quick list?
I don't think any.
Probably the categories that you can get.
No, dude, because it's dynamic. If you right click, it should show my playlist in a quick list.
But then doesn't the
That's
standard
under the
category files?
playlists.
What?
Doesn't the standard category files?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
No, you have the
If you
basic
can
radio and things like that, so you can get.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'll put it up there if someone does it. That'll be fun. The categories. So like, what are they called? Music, Podcasts.
Radio, podcasts.
Oh, yeah, that makes
Playlists,
sense.
etc.
those.
Right.
They're just,
Yeah.
And then your quick lists are in sound indicator, right?
we need a name.
Play-
Or on
Playlists,
playlists, yeah.
sound.
Okay.
Who is signing up for that?
So who's signing up for this?
It's like 3 lines in a desktop file.
All right, Lord.
No, it needs translation, it needs, yeah,
No,
exactly.
because
You have to deal with translation.
There you go, Gord.
It's not 3
all
lines.
you, baby.
It's not speaking as an English people.
you just signed up.
I'm putting 3 lines in.
No, you need the translation and
so,
then
but he's not doing the translations, right? So
No, but
I'll
for
set
him,
it.
it's 3 lines with the underscore at the front of
Yeah.
it, and then somebody else will translate.
Okay.
and to check that Banshee has this option, I think it doesn't. So you have to patch Banshee so that
Yeah,
you
after-
can
after
run
this
the
one,
right
I'll
category by default. It's not 3 lines.
Thanks for victimizing
If it
yourself.
gets too complicated, then we'll punt it. Anything else? I don't want to get stuck on quit lists.
No, I think it's time to move on.
I think we got BFB. Nautilus is the one that users have been asking for, right? They want
No,
to
Jason,
right click on and get.
Software standard.
I thought that.
Software Center, another manager had this problem. I found this bug where you can't just right click and update. You have to launch the update manager and then you can right click and update because it doesn't. It doesn't have like a command line switch that's like update only. But I did follow that bug with MVO, so
Okay. Yeah, so,
I'll try to follow that one up.
yeah. We can cheat. We
We can also have a
the
quick
user.
list when we right click an empty part of the launcher.
What's that?
Like when we right click an empty part of the launcher, we can have a quick list to open CCSM.
No, that's not really accessible.
No.
A right click where?
Right click an empty part of the launcher.
The empty
Oh,
part of the
no.
launcher doesn't respond to mouse events except for dragging the launcher. That's it.
I never mentioned CCSM again.
Yeah, exactly.
That application is dead to you and the rest of you off.
We're gonna kill it with fire from orbit.
Yeah, Sam's
Also,
not,
is it Sam's not here?
Sam's not here, so we can talk about killing it with fire.
Okay, indicator.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
so
Download the power tab and I'll show the progress on it. We're getting to launcher integration. Okay, bye.
yeah, this one is.
All right.
Yeah, I've found the bug on that too. wget libunity integration, so it could do. Hey man, that's gonna be awesome. If you know anybody that's interested in doing that, that'd be great. Well, if a sysadmin out there wants to do it, then why not?
What about browser
Right.
integration for the same thing?
What's that?
What about browser integration for the same thing?
We have that though.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Firefox
next.
at least.
Indicators.
Chrome is like halfway there. Okay, indicators. Moving on. Sorry.
No.
What?
Chromium works.
Oh, Chromium works too. All right.
George, just before we switch to that, did you record, I remember there was an action item for John Lee typically to articulate some more design guidelines
Yeah.
for that?
Oh yeah. Oh,
It's
good
still
one.
to
Yeah.
do, but yeah.
Right, because I couldn't find that online, and I think
This is the
that's
one.
developers
One more.
What do we tell app
John Lee.
developers?
and John Lee.
Launcher integration or indicator integration?
Right.
Also, people are making some application to edit the quick list. So
Make
maybe we
up
should make
your
it in Universe at
mind.
least.
Well, it's not just that, but there's like a whole new class of little utility apps which are coming up, which
Yeah.
just deal with drag and drop on
Right.
the quick list. Like
So-
upload to Dropbox and stuff. And
Yeah, those are
we
cool
don't-
little
I
applications.
know, but
Okay.
could we make them easier to write or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'd be really nice if we could.
So I need a community person to grab all the like Dropbox thingers and all those and put those in Launchpad so Didrox can easily suck them in. Who wants to do that?
It's entirely possible for us to make those applications really easy to write without them having them write even.
Quick lists.
Yeah.
They're kind of sucky to have to write quick lists for that.
Do we want to package that Quicklist editor like in Universe, or do we want people to just see? Because I'm kind of of the opinion that I want them fixed in the archive, not if you give everyone a config tool, everyone has different
Yeah.
quick lists.
No,
so
yeah,
just
that- we
making
don't
them
wanna do
awesome
that.
for everybody.
Yeah, one of the issues is that the desktop file you can't, once you copy your desktop file in your user directory, you can't update them. Like if the icon change.
Right.
So
I
that's,
think we need to do some form of layering on quick lists, like a different, like.
Okay.
different layer, yeah.
Yeah, so there's
Okay, so moving on. We've been on 23 minutes on
a good
Quicklist.
technical.
Okay, indicators.
to be had there.
I feel they're mostly complete. Anyone have any burning issues with indicator integration? Other than, yeah.
I'd like to take a task, if I'm allowed to have a Qt API to create indicators.
Qt API for indicators.
It was automatically assigned to you.
Yeah, yes. There's a,
Indicators or like
It is not this without the G.
What?
Without
Hey, Aurelian, are you wearing your DX hat or your desktop hat?
sorry? Well,
It's sideways.
look at
I'm
See what that Diet Coke
feeling that it's
Fix the
something
nickname.
related to desktop. Well, this has to be.
So Aurelian will ask his manager whether he can actually do it.
Yeah.
His manager agrees, I'm seeing him.
I mean, this,
Easy for you to do.
I think there is a need for an opt-in API.
Yeah,
So whether it's
Sure.
needed or not or something, I don't know.
okay.
Just as a side, could you also help make a libunity queue, please?
He's rotating to desktop.
I'll do it in
second,
my way,
just-
but it'll be like using G-object in Qt, so you have to help me.
I mean, it's not that I don't want to do this. I see the use of doing this, but it's just that I feel that we have existing Qt applications which use the old systrate API, and I'd like to have a story by NTS
we have
for those
kill that
applications to properly integrate.
No, I mean, this is separate though. LibUnity doesn't touch any of those things. This is just for launcher integration, so Q apps could easily integrate with the launcher.
Wow.
And you could write, you know, if you want to use the Qt stuff, you could write a lens or a scope with Qt instead of with glib stuff, basically.
I mean,
Even more
I think there's a higher priority than existing.
I think so.
Yeah, agree.
Absolutely, I think everybody agrees.
Well, we're talking about apps that we want to have indicators.
I like magnums.
Where the what?
Yeah.
I don't think they have an indicator. They have a,
Yeah. Neil, the symbolic icons for indicators, but that's not counting here.
No.
okay.
Is everyone know what the same indicator is?
Yeah, it's not going to be done.
Awesome.
Ubuntu One are going to just make their own indicator for that.
Okay.
They're gonna make one?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay, so there's really not much else going on with indicators.
Wait, hold on. Messaging menu. That's a separate session with Thunderbird. I know some people have issues with the integration there.
It's too blue.
Yeah. Any other things that we would need integrated that we care about? We pretty much did all this last 2 cycles.
I think that probably with indicators need to make sure that the document to strongly encourage accessible descriptions.
Yeah, bring that up when we start complaining about docs at the bottom.
It can probably stop telling me I have 66,723 unread messages and just say 66K.
Yeah. That's a good bug. You should file that bug.
No.
That's a good bug.
While we're on the subject of indicators, I'd like to know if someone is still paying any attention to the fallback system tray that Wine still uses. I know it has to, I know, but I need to talk to someone about it because I've been having like dark on dark text, like transparency issues.
Okay. That was from GTK3, but it got interesting.
Right, but I mean, like, I don't want the whole thing to be dropped entirely because it's still used.
No.
Are we getting a printed indicator? Because I know I printed the other day and we've got the whole legacy icon for printing stuff.
Yeah, that's. You need to talk to Till and that new printing guy. His name is
Yes.
Yes.
I heard from him yes, we are getting that. We have to follow up and confirm it, so.
Yeah. So one more thing, especially with the whitelist going on. I hate the fact that users are telling each other to just whitelist all, and then that totally breaks the thing even worse than not having it. Is there a way we can disable the all, but still allow people to individually list applications? I know that's controversial. Anyone have any problems with
I'd
that?
happily do it. The reason I left it is with the OEM stuff. But yeah, sure.
So
we don't want to maintain whitelist all for 5 years.
Yeah, just make anybody who.
This is not.
Yeah, remove whitelist all.
Especially, I remember you fixed the issue, Neil.
That's it.
You fixed the issue that we had with, I can't remember exactly what, account, but, so which means that is the situation that keeping the all flag on is safe, or we have actual elements that prove that whatever we do, there are still cases where
if you do the all flag, GNOME itself gets confused, and App Indicator itself gets confused, and then it does really bad things.
I'd rather get flamed for people having to figure out what the binary is and put it in there than everyone telling each other to do all and the entire indicator area is.
And you get 2 power menus. And
it's just.
the thing is that we showed that this all option is really something that is a valid solution, but it's not something that we can maintain.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, basically, I'm not willing to maintain it for 5 years now.
They've had their cycle to have the app authors fix their stuff. So.
Can I ask this question, which is can we have like whitelist everything except what's in the archive, in a sense? Like instead of all, right? It's kind of like blacklisting every app we ship, right?
It's been like 2 years since we deprecated the thing. You're the only guy that gets to buy. You and Java.
The point of it is not to create a single whitelist thing, the point is to give people a transition.
Right, exactly.
And if it's in the archive and it doesn't use an indicator, there needs to be a bug open for it. And we have a fallback for a reason. If people want to maintain it in other distros, we have a nice fallback. Really nice.
Cool.
So let's just kill this Unix crap once and for all. All right, any other questions on indicators? I'm not killing old school XM bed and all that. No, let's get rid of it. All right, zeitgeist. Dude, I came in here with a purpose, fellas.
Okay.
We're just porting us all.
We need more keywords in the desktop file.
So more keywords in the .desktop file.
Yes.
Question. Is it possible to just pipe all the strings from an application into Zeitgeist so that when I type
File?
when I type static IP address, like the network thing comes up? Because right now it does some of them, but not all of them, right? So if I search for DNS, it shows up.
So what we were gonna do is pipe, what was it? Something to do with translations.
Yeah,
It's,
All the PO files and stuff.
Yeah.
So do we want to do that or not?
Oh, we didn't want to say we want to do it if Mikhail's not here because he's the one who looked at
It can get really sketchy.
I mean, if you've
but
got
it's a very good idea.
filing application, file,
Well, I mean,
Well, no, because if there's a higher match, like if you've got file manager and that's the actual name, it goes higher. But if
Yeah.
you type in monitors right now, I have to press down, across, or whatever. But it could be a translatable string in the app already.
Give me an action item actually for making the generated wine desktop files need to have the keywords for their entire path. So when you install Windows application and it puts itself in some like 3-tier submenu, right now the only thing that you can find it by searching is the final bit. So it might be in Windows applications, games, company name, Grand Theft Auto, play. But you only find it in Unity by searching for play.
Play, yeah, that's, yeah. God, I hate that.
No. But also I think we should talk. I think you need to write a scope, and I think we can make something nice.
yeah, I think wine is such a specific use case.
Yeah.
But like, I mean,
But I think it's a good idea to make it keywords as well.
But it does such silly things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need to reform the way search results are ordered because right now if we enter logout in the Unity dash search bar,
Yeah.
shut
Do we
down
have a
the-
separate dash session for, we can like rail you for like an hour? I'm sorry, rail on you for,
Real Mikhail.
oh.
But yes.
But Michelle's not here, is he?
Well, I'm not here from Wednesday, so Thursday.
Anytime I want to do it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What about Zeitgeist results? And also, I know we did some talking about that. A bunch of one directory, documents directory, all that sort of good stuff. Looking at the back of your head,
Yeah, well, so what?
Probably blowing you off.
So we talked about briefly in the hall, Zeitgeist results, and increasing what we can search initially.
Yeah. That's less an integration thing that we have to somehow work.
Okay with that?
Do we have a category for that anywhere?
There's like a very popular bug report about that, and it's milestone for.
How is the session run? Until when?
5 cities, so 4. It's just we don't know how.
Is that what it is?
We don't have a plan yet.
There is something else for Zeitgeist, like integration of GNOME Activity Journal to GCC,
Oh, yeah.
GNOME Control Center.
So, what are we doing? Investigating what?
To get what?
To get the GNOME Activity Journal so that you can remove your history and as well as some kind of privacy mode in GNOME Control Center.
Yes, we've discussed this at length.
Yeah, actually, Rick Spencer's written a little app called Stealthy that wipes. So we should investigate both of these.
Yeah.
People are writing applications.
Hey, is Manish in IRC? Upstream Zeitgeist?
Well, no, there is Mikhail.
We have.
We have somebody we can chuck at this. Right? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Basically, I would go for the second is XML, the Python, GNOME Activity Journal in Control Center. And that's it.
It'd be really nice if we could just do simple things like respect hidden files and.
We do that. Don't we?
Ignore when he listens to Britney Spears and things.
Yeah.
Well, we
Yes.
follow the .ignore files like Nautilus, don't we?
I'm not sure Zeitgeist does.
Oh, okay.
So I know
Might do.
for GNOME Activity Journal that I pinged Johnny to review the UI and he has some ideas. I was hoping he could come, but
Okay,
so just add an action to him.
there it is. Any other Zeitgeist stuff? Like the providers and the apps and stuff seem to be doing pretty well, right? Those are those packaged.
No, there's a separate session for that.
Oh, okay. Separate session. Good.
So we're gonna add the Bieber filter once in a while.
So launcher integration, Thunderbird's a separate one. What else do we need in there? The browsers are, both browsers are done?
Yeah,
Evolution's done, right?
Evolution's
So
done.
both mail clients are done?
We were thinking about wget.
Yeah. Starting to go to the slightly harder ones now. To get working.
wget, really? You wouldn't put that as a priority.
Or apt-get.
Apt-get would be
Apt-get is
cool.
more, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll say something like, we want people to do this, but I don't think you guys should be
So,
wasting your time on wget.
Yeah.
We have it.
Manish is now.
it's worth noting down some ideas and then we can work.
Yeah.
Okay, so add for JSON.
Anything else?
For the
Any other cool
patch.
command line things that we want progress for?
I'm not command line, but
Or
I didn't even know where you were carrying it from.
good
Are
idea.
there's
Carrying
default launchers for the
from
browsers, but are there default launchers for popular web apps?
no, it's not working with Chromium. It's web
Yes,
matching.
we should talk about web apps.
Last
Before we
I
move
checked,
on-
it seems to work with Chromium now.
It doesn't.
Okay.
I can tell you, I told you it doesn't.
Okay, so web app support.
Web app support story.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is not an easy task, first of all. Web apps are something that, in general, are kind of new in how we think about them. We have in Google Chrome support for web apps. They show up on the launcher, they work right, they work kind of as their own applications. This is the experience we want to bring across to Chromium and Firefox.
I think it works on Chromium.
Yeah, I thought it works on Chromium, but he's saying no.
No, my computer works.
Talks about
So there is something with French.
Oh, there is some localization issues with it.
No, but
I'm using
When just
USA.
Whoa, let's have one conversation.
I'm using
Chill.
USA, no Italian. So.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
What was that?
Are you talking about Chrome apps or web apps?
Web apps. So like when you
So Docs or Gmail or
yes,
Facebook or.
and those pop up in their own window, and they export. They create their own desktop file that has a specific name, and then they export the WM class as that same specific name, so that we can try to do that matching. So we are now paying attention to that. Yes.
In a way that's browser agnostic. In my imagination, you've got a Gmail web app button, and it should not be wedded to a particular browser, but it should use whatever the current system browser is.
So this was kind of like the plan that it's desktop agnostic as soon as you get away from it's browser agnostic as soon as you get away from the service that does the matching, right? But the actual process of doing that, each of the vendors have seemed to have decided their own methodology of exporting this information, and
The web app.
the web app, the matching information to let you know what this window here belongs to this kind of web app, right? They've all picked a different way of doing that.
We should have a general web app session, because that's a whole pie.
It's a big, nasty can of worms, and
project bit, like
Yeah.
handling.
this is its own session.
Cool.
So someone submit that session and we'll talk about it. Okay,
Any
next.
other interesting things for launcher integration?
Actually, we had a discussion last UDS about how we should integrate Nautilus Quicklist into the launcher. Like, so what should be there in the Nautilus Quicklist? We are still under.
It should be the default XDG DIRs.
We already got that up in the quick list.
So that was actually deferred because of the Nautilus law or something. I think he might know more about it.
Yeah, but it's Sidrock's work item now, so you're good. You get a buy.
So that's not a work item right now.
It is for him.
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna do, he's doing dynamic quick lists for Nautilus. And that will include progress indicator for Libunity, right?
Oh, it's worth noting down that software center integration.
Yeah, software center is mine.
Yeah, so
There's one other thing that worth putting up there, which is multiplexing multiple subscribers to quick lists. Or no, multiple subscribers to Libunity. So like, if I have 4 terminal applications, if I have 4 applications, all saying Firefox is at this download percentage, it needs to aggregate those together into an overall progress. Instead of doing kind of last come, first serve
Okay, well, you
Okay.
write that in there in
You
English.
should totally do that.
Yeah.
We need to, for long term, we need to improve the like handling of how do you specify what file types it can accept for drag and drop.
Why is
Like,
it not
for
normal?
example, like why can't I drag thing to Thunderbird and it opens attachments and things like that.
Jason,
What?
let him catch up with
We
him.
need to, for launcher integration, improve, how they specify one and then two specify one, like what supports what for drag and drop. Like I feel like I should be able to drag any file to Thunderbird.
Oh yeah, there's a great, so what drag and drop supports is defined in the desktop
Yeah,
file.
yeah, yeah.
And quite a few applications do a somewhat poor job of actually defining what you can open with them. Thunderbird is bad at this. It exports almost nothing as its supported MIME types, when in reality it supports just about everything.
And I think that's because, I mean, this key isn't used just for drag and drop, it's used for like open credit. So for example, I want to be able to, Thunderbird should accept lots of things for drag and drop, that it shouldn't be in the list for like open web. So I think we might actually need a new key.
Yeah, if we need a new,
But for most applications, it would have the same value, and then, so you can have the default and then add a new key.
Yeah.
Thunderbird.
Yeah.
we could have like an X Unity extra MIMEs, or, you know, obviously my naming skills are poor today, but we can have some kind of extra key that lets you tack on extra things for drag and drop.
Including all.
Okay. Hey, make sure you write that down. Someone for Jason. Next, scopes for apps. Hey, Van Dyne, how's the Gwibber lens? Anything to do there?
No, it's.
Okay. What other lenses do we do by default? Music lens, how's that come in? How's that?
It's good to
Done?
add rhythm box support.
Okay, but that's optional, I mean.
Yeah,
Right.
it's about turning down some scopes. Like some people have issues with
Yes.
privacy about the music online search.
That's coming this cycle.
Yeah, but which is.
Okay, so who's doing that?
That's not integration stuff, is it?
No, but it's still some.
There's a bug for that.
Means that we should track it.
Let me just say, privacy issues
Not in this session.
with some lenses. How's that? And then we'll find what the bug is, and then that'll be
There's
done.
too many Jasons up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, you're just gonna have a way of switching on and off sources.
Yeah,
it needs to be
scopes.
gourds.
Sources, scopes.
Yeah, hey, I only write them down so I can make sure that you don't lie to me, that's all.
You should count how many things I did from last year, yeah.
0?
Yep.
Okay. So what other lenses? Music lens. Is David Calais here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you have a whole session on scopes and lenses.
Yeah, and they have a specific scope for the music lens that is music player agnostic and uses ID3 tagged files in the music folder.
Okay. Okay, so everyone who cares about lens, we need to make sure we go to David's session. I think it's on Wednesday or Thursday. Okay. Good.
Can we move that?
Can we move that?
Yeah.
We'll leave on Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday please, or tomorrow.
What tomorrow?
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow's better.
Tomorrow?
Yeah, a lot of Unity sessions tomorrow.
So,
Unity Day.
What?
Manish is actually mentioning something on iOS.
and you still say for 12:04 we can get dragging the lens to the launcher, right? Okay.
Wait,
Everyone,
what?
Neil said it. You should be able to drag your app lens to the
Yeah.
launcher, so I don't have to go 4 levels deep to put Geo.
No, it's literally just make a desktop file that calls dbus send.
Yeah. he told me. Hey, you know what? Don't tell me any implementation details.
It doesn't get easier.
Okay. We should talk about the dash thing, but you know how people want to be able to
Who
turn
didn't
on
think about that?
apps available for
So
download?
dumb when you do it.
Is that on
It's part of
roadmap?
That's the same thing as
The scope.
You could.
the music.
Oh yeah, it's just a scope, isn't it? Yeah. they
Yeah.
can- yeah.
Oh, so that's covered in the privacy issue with some lenses and scopes. So people should be able to turn off, so when I search for something and like porn view comes up because it's in the archive, People
Because you
should,
have it installed.
right, 'cause
It comes up randomly quite a lot.
Yeah, there are a lot of
Yeah, you're
random
able
things
to
you can
switch
do.
off. But I mean, generally that's a problem with Unity integration. We need
Right.
to block those apps.
right. Because if I'm an enterprise desktop, I don't want users to see those apps because I'm not going to let them
So
install them
We
anyway.
should try and do that for the LTM.
So we're gonna have like a
We
list of
consider
dirty
just
words.
Disabling that by default sometimes. The app's available for download is not.
Sure, but if that doesn't
Download.
happen, we need to at least cover this sense that we don't show
Yeah.
mature apps or whatever you call them.
Mature. Immature apps.
Yeah, no, because I was under the impression that part of the scope was going to be under design consideration because it was.
It is, but not knowing what's going to happen means we need to kind of cover the fact that it stays.
Yeah.
We should be showing point.
Okay. All right, anything else with scopes? Keeping in mind we have a whole thing about scopes and lenses. What are the default ones? Files?
Files, apps, music.
Right.
I don't think so. I think maybe do we need like a nicer way, like we seem to be getting more lenses now.
Yes.
We need a better way to surface them in Software Center or something.
Yes, so did Rock lead template for lenses?
We didn't write the API again, or
What?
do I have to redo all my work?
No, NJ Patel, you have to finish
No, you can.
API documentation because you only see screenshots. Something I didn't forget, dude.
He has 0 action items. He has 0 action
Hey man, I'm moving to Juju. I'm going to screen you guys.
Oh man, okay.
Did we make
No,
it
but
so that
seriously, we need to
they
finish
just
the
get
API
activated
documentation.
once you install them, or do you still need to restart?
That we,
Oh,
you know.
yes.
Let's not get too caught up in Google.
Make it easy for lenses to go into the software system.
Yeah.
Because right now it has to put a .desktop file somewhere.
Yeah, that's, the dot test file. So
Yeah. Because remember, if they go to Software Center, they have to be an op. They can't be in user share application.
We'll figure that out. And also I did auto loading them on this.
Oh,
I was
yes.
going to ask you that.
Well,
That's a bug. I found that bug already. I had a dynamic loading of lenses.
yeah.
That's like 2 cycles of bailed on me on that one, by the way.
Reading file systems.
He did try, like twice. I saw him doing it.
Reading file systems is that's our excuse. Love it.
It's all async and stuff.
Okay, icons. Okay, moving on to icons.
Okay, so as far as icons that don't, oh, I'm sorry. What are you doing?
Continue.
Okay, as far as icons that don't suck go, I mean the only way this is really going to get fixed is if we get the stakeholders involved talking to each other. So I need to find a way to talk to the Firefox guys and the Chrome guys and the Chromium guys, and I don't know what your level of
So we're talking for web apps or normal apps?
You mean just, right now you're talking about web apps, right?
web apps. I thought that's
I
what
mean,
that
we
was
could
about.
be more clever about it.
No, this is all icons.
Try and
Yeah.
Because there's
download
lots of stuff in the archive. You install it, and it's
16 by
1996.
16 and
Yeah.
stuff.
We can still try and install the
Right.
Apple
So
one.
right now we have well, the Apple one. So I did some looking around, and it has some usage in some places.
Sure.
But some of the big ones, like Google, just don't have it.
Okay.
Neil doesn't believe me.
Google has one. I will try in Unity 2D.
Or was it
downloads?
I think they do. You just need the right
I
stuff.
think there is one.
Maybe I'm not knowing where to look, but
There is a better one for Gmail.
it's completely hit or miss on the Apple, like the Apple
It's
launcher.
one stage of
Okay.
a
But-
very of a larger
Yeah.
process of finding the icon.
Yes, we need to find a better way to export icons,
Yeah.
both from the web app view, and then when we're dealing with system icons, I don't know what you want to do about that, because I do a heuristic to try to find the best possible icon I can find in good quality,
Yeah.
but eventually you have to say, okay, there's no good icon, so you take the crappy one, scale it up, and you're done.
No, but I mean,
You mean like the Gmail one?
Well, that one's a web app.
that's web app. But
Yeah.
like,
Oh, you mean for the one
I don't know.
system?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, Decomp Editor has like a
Okay.
white paper. It doesn't even have it.
like external. Yeah, it doesn't have an
Yeah.
icon.
Can we make that such less?
Yeah, my girlfriend.
Yeah, actually, if you run Decomp Editor, it has an icon in the launcher,
You say your
so the
girlfriend's
dash just
fixing it
sucks.
upstairs? That is the
No, it
coolest thing
doesn't
I've
set
ever
an
heard.
icon. It doesn't have
You
an
know
icon.
all the Ubuntu party shops? With the goodies?
But it says it's window icon.
I know.
You should marry that woman.
So yeah.
All right, so can we have a better icon for things that don't have icons, like deconf edit?
Sure, but
A
we've
default.
got things like Xterm and stuff which still have horrible icons.
Horrible old XP.
So what can we do? I mean, in the software center, we like force app authors to give us all the icons, but
Could we do, I mean, just generate an automated list of every app in the software center that has, you know, a non-scalable icon or one-sided icon? And just
or do we
dump
just
that
let
somewhere?
social pressure? You know, when an app author sees his app and it looks like crap.
Yeah. I think it's better.
Well,
Yeah.
so we do a lot of work to try to make them look as good as possible. I mean,
Right.
believe it or not, we can have them look a lot crappier.
Right.
I mean, and as long as we're doing the work to make them look good, I don't think we're going to be applying a lot of social pressure.
And social pressure doesn't work. People will blame Unity, not the app.
Yep.
They'll say Unity is ugly, not the app has another icon.
And we'll just say, well, you need to provide an icon bigger than 16 by 16.
No, you refuse to let them install the app. This app can't be
Now
plugged into the
that's social pressure.
That?
I like how you roll, dude. I like how you roll.
To provide the icon, stop letting them.
Oh, we would get so killed. It'd be awesome.
So,
I mean, generally for what we install, it's not as much. It's not.
Yeah, for the
huge
default
problem.
looks okay.
Yeah, we really have a ton of stuff.
So I had two ideas for this. The first was a variant of this, which is basically we put a requirement on that every app in there must ship an SVG or a good set of PNGs. I don't think that's very implementable. The second and probably much more implementable option is to basically ship an override file. So we know that when we get like deconf.xpm, we should probably translate that into some other icon that we've picked that actually looks a lot better.
Like an unknown command line icon, unknown
Yeah.
graphical application icon.
So a more generic icon, but one that looks better.
I think
Or you
that
could
John,
use the other icon pictures if you need to.
Yes.
what John was saying, that you look maybe a layer, so like the generic icon, and then a layer
category.
Yeah,
Oh.
otherwise,
Category from the
otherwise,
Yeah.
Hey.
So what we can look at the category and take this icon for this category.
but
Yeah.
one of the issues could be like having a lot of similar icons in the launcher, and you, like
but it's still better than a-
screen locker and screen. So maybe we should.
Well,
I think we have to decide on what the, like, there comes a point where we say, is it better to have a specific crappy icon? Or is it better to have a non-specific good icon?
I think announcement, because then an app author that cares about his app is going to say, I care about my brand. I
But
should make a freaking icon.
say they ship a, hold on,
Right?
say they ship a 32 by 32, that's not a lot of scaling involved, it will still look mostly okay.
Right.
So we have to pick that point where we say, okay, now your icon is too crappy for us to use in a large environment, we're gonna switch it over to
I
a
was saying,
generic.
David?
Yeah. What about the category icon with the app icon as an emblem?
Yeah,
Oh.
something like that.
yeah, what I was saying.
There are some things, yes, if we ever decided to use like the category icon, we'd probably do some layering effect to it.
I'd actually like to comment on that because I face the same issue with Wine. We have this ancient Windows application that has an embedded executable icon that's 16
Like
by
an
16.
ICO
from Windows
file or
16.
whatever?
Yeah. No, and we can render them or whatever, but the solution there was to create a thumbnailer that sort of embeds that in a larger, you know, like here's the wine glass next to it, or here's
Yeah.
a container showing this is a wine glass.
Okay.
So you could do something.
We have 7 minutes. What do you have?
But is a thumbnailer the technical solution we want there? I mean,
I
generally.
think it's worth getting design to mock some of this stuff
Yeah.
like and
So,
see what they like.
This will have to go back to
So
design.
John Lee, mock up what
John Lee.
an icon override would
Well,
look like.
Because there's also, you know, when with thumbnailers are known, you know, it only generates it when you view it in Nautilus, and then it stores them in the cache, and we would want this somewhere else, right? Like,
You wouldn't generate a file, you would overlay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're rendering in GL, there's no reason for us to worry about actually writing a file up. I mean, it's really cheap for us to just blip.
Okay.
Okay. Accessibility. Probably an indicator. Any chance we could like have a contractor that would just do this for us or something?
Well, it probably needs to be better defined. I'm just sort of just thinking of the seat of my pants here. I mean, there's the whole concept of accessibility profiles. I was thinking something along those lines. I don't know, it was brainstorm, needs to be thought through.
Does LibApp Indicator have API to let you indicate more information for the accessibility?
Yeah, accessible descriptions are all the way through the indicator stuff.
Okay.
Just now, it's got to work with Ted to add accessible description stuff to debug menus when necessary.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so is this generally in good shape or?
It has a plan.
Okay, so it has a plan. It's Cylon.
So that's it done.
All right, documentation for all the above. So Neil's already gonna do his.
Yeah.
I guess just DX across the board. You guys
Yeah.
It's a massive push this cycle anyway.
Okay, and you guys are scoped for that and resourced for that?
Yes.
Jason, you heard them. Lie to my face.
One thing,
Lie to my face.
I'll lie to Jason's face.
All right, so is there anything, all right, so we got 5 minutes left. Anything you want to go back? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe nobody care, but I like websites. So I think that all the documentation and maybe lenses, indicators, blah blah. We should like create a website just to showcase, so people get excited.
Unity.develop or unity.ubuntu.com?
Yeah, so they exist.
No, but it's almost empty.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
whoever takes my job will be doing that. So.
He wasn't there.
No, because I'm doing good job. Right now we have like Ask Ubuntu with a list of indicators.
Oh, that sort of thing.
We should place all that
showcase
into
on our
Unity.
web thing. Yeah.
So people.
The new hire will hang.
Okay, I like that. One of my lens coming up, showing up, scope, whatever.
Yeah.
I like that you're assigning everything to the new hire already.
Yeah, I know.
He doesn't even exist.
He started doing it after I indicated I might want that.
The docs. I know from someone who's had to sort of learn a lot of geodeck in the last year or so, to get into something that we're not having to deal with, sort of learning pseudo object-oriented stuff to C, unless you're writing another language. Is there going to be some decent documentation that teaches people about geodeck and their geodeck introspections, so they can actually get started understanding the documentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, by GI.
Yeah, there is. So we're producing GIR files for basically all of our libs now.
Yeah, I know that.
But we don't have good. Yeah, no, I'm getting that. We don't have. So we're going. So our first stop is to finish off a tool we wrote to make the base API documentation for each language that works off the GIR.
Right.
And then we have another. The next step is to write broader documentation about how would you, start to finish type thing, documentation tutorial. That's very nice. But we have a language. We have a tool that can take GIR and spit out the relevant documentation for Python, JavaScript, C.
All right, it's 3:57. So what else do we need to cover in?
So integration, but we can. Actually, I guess we don't have already a header or anything for you not to say.
Yeah, well, we have the. I mean,
is that how the known piece?
Dude, this is plenty, especially for an LPS.
All right, so maybe we should wrap.
So we're good. Any last minute? Yeah.
About drag and drop. If we have two Chromium Firefox windows, we cannot drag a tab from one Windows to another Windows.
You mean within by using the
Switching
Unity launcher? Yeah, no, that's a lot more complicated than we're going to get into right now. That's a technical issue now.
Oh, so you want to drag a tab from one instance to another one?
Or the one you said for D&D not supporting the specific area.
One hour is deactivated to avoid the bug.
This is the crazy abuse of X drag and drop we must do.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk to Preston and go get shots at the bar. All right. Okay, thanks everyone.